What is going on, guys? It is Daniel back with another video, and we are going to be talking about Fortnite today. First of all, I would like to apologize for not uploading a video in a couple of days, but I've been getting ready for school and making sure I had all my classes lined up and making sure I got all my books and everything. But now that I got that all figured out, I can get back to a regular recording schedule. Anyway, back to what I'm doing this video on. I've had a ton of people asking me if Fortnite is worth it, and if they should wait till it's free or just buy it now. To fully answer that question, I'm going to do a full breakdown of what I like about the game, what I hate about the game, and what I think needs to be changed. We're going to start with what I like about the game. For starters, the game is a lot of fun. I have truly enjoyed my time playing this game so far. I think the classes are interesting and special in their own way. There are tons of guns that you can choose from and different variants of each one of those guns. The gameplay is usually smooth and I really enjoy building in this game. The grid pattern makes building fast and simple, and I just really enjoy it. And now to the bad parts. And the bad parts outweigh the good parts by a lot. First of all, the most important one is the loot system. Loot boxes don't work in a game like this. I feel like Fortnite just copied and pasted the loot system from Overwatch into their game, but by making them loot llamas instead of loot boxes. There's just one huge issue with this. Overwatch's loot system is for cosmetics only. To have a completely RNG-based loot system for you to progress through the game is just stupid. And you can say you can progress through the game without good loot, and to an extent you're right. But after a while, you need those good guns to get anywhere. Next, I want to talk about survivors and power level. I actually think this was a really cool way of introducing progression into the game. My only issue with it is how hard it was to level them up. And the most recent patch, they lowered the materials by a little bit, but I still think it could be ridiculously hard to upgrade all of them. And this brings me to defenders. Probably the most useless thing in the game in my mind. I never use them. They are just too much of a hassle for me to deal with. You have to drop them a gun, ammo, and protect them. It's more work to keep them alive and shooting husks than it is to kill the husks yourself. My next issue is expedition squads. I personally never use these. Maybe it's just because the game is still relatively new, but I find that I just cripple myself by sending my best characters on these missions. And I could just spend 30 minutes harvesting resources and get way more resources than one of those expeditions that lasts 16 hours could. Yeah, I personally don't have to do the grinding myself, but to send one of my higher characters away for 16 hours is just super annoying. You can't use that character for the entire time the expedition is gone unless you cancel the entire thing, yielding you no resources at all. And lastly, I want to talk about heroes, and specifically the balance of classes. All I see in higher level content is soldiers. Maybe sometimes I see a constructor. I have never seen an Outlander do more damage than I do with a soldier, and ninjas just seem too risky in my mind. The soldiers is the superior class, and I know that will make a lot of people angry, but it is my honest opinion. There is literally no reason to play the other characters. They just can't perform as well as soldiers can, and that really makes me angry. I really enjoy using the Outlanders. Blink is my favorite ability in the game, but the Outlanders are just so weak it's not viable. Before I talk about things I would like to get changed, I want to talk about the most recent update. When they released the information about this update, I was super excited. A new survival mission, adding new heroes into the game, new guns into the game, fixing a lot of the issues with lack of materials like pure drops of rain and lightning in a bottle, and lastly, the modifiers on certain missions. I was starting to get burnt out on Fortnite, but they were adding new things and it was going to be amazing. But it wasn't. It was actually really underwhelming. Survival was literally just protect the Atlas, but for a long ass time. Like a ridiculously long time. The heroes were not new at all. I mean, I didn't expect new abilities, but I would have at least liked to see some new passives. They just threw old passives on the same characters that we've already seen, but with different clothes on. It was super underwhelming for me. And most of the guns were just reskins too. Some of the numbers were changed, but that was it. None of them were really new, just more of the same stuff we'd already seen. Now, I will say that the modifiers on the missions were really cool, and I like them so far. And I really enjoy the material increase, it's super nice, and the storm tickets for every mission makes it so that you can get an actual decent amount of storm llamas while this event happens. I really enjoy Fortnite, but I can't recommend it to people until they fix some of the big issues. All I talk about in this video was the structure issues with the game. I didn't even talk about the countless crashes and frame rate drops that you get quite often. I'm very tough on the game, and for good reason. I really enjoy the game. I don't want this game to crash into the ground like so many others have before it. The concept is great, and the gameplay is amazing. If they just changed some of the things, it would make the game so much better. That being said, I want to ask you guys, what do you think about the game? What do you think needs to be changed? How would you change it? Do you agree with me, or do you just think I'm an idiot? Go ahead and leave that stuff in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.